Alright guys, Tactical Rabbit here, and if you guys didn't see my post on YouTube a couple of days ago, because YouTube now allows me to do that, I've been in Germany for the last couple of days and really bogged down with uni stuff, so I wasn't able to make a video last week, so this is the first video you're getting for quite a while now, so I thought what I would do here, as Vegas is approaching, and there was actually a lot of news that came up over the last week, what I thought I'd do is pretty much just go through all the news that happened, focusing mainly on this Revan situation, which I think is pretty interesting because it kind of encompasses a few of the stories we've had, I guess, over the last week or so, but I pretty much just wanted to go through everything because, you know, I don't have the time to make a video on every single thing that happened or enough things to say on each one to really make it its own video, but I do think that if you guys want something more in-depth on one of these topics or one of the team changes, or not necessarily team changes, but organizations that have picked up teams that we have seen over the last week, then leave them down in the description box below, and I'll do my best to do that. I know that, you know, this week I'm going to be pretty busy again, and Vegas is coming up this Thursday, of course, on the 6th indeed, it starts, so maybe I can get one more video out before then, and then I'll just have Vegas coverage, and I believe Call of Duty Gamepedia are also doing power rankings, and I said I'd do a video breaking down what those power rankings are in advance of the event, so this may be the only video we get on these sort of news things, depending on the situation, but regardless, we'll go through it all today, because I know that there's at least a fair few of you guys that rely on this channel for all the news stuff, so I'll try to be less opinionated and just crack on today, I guess. So, like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, as always. Okay, so firstly, the Revan situation. It was revealed a long time ago, several weeks back by Revan, that he's not going to be on the analyst desk this year, which comes as a shock to a lot of us, because in my opinion, he's probably the best all-rounder we have, caster, analyst, like, he could do it all, and it's a shame not to see him. From my understanding, it's not him that's decided not to be a part of the MLG team anymore. I believe they got rid of him for whatever reason, but don't take that as fact. It could be either way. We don't know too much on the issue. But anyway, he's joined EG as their coach, which is a really cool thing to see. I'm glad to see him still involved with the scene in some capacity at least, even though he's not going to be on the desk this year, even though in the past he's been off the desk and then back on the desk, like, you know, he knows exactly what's going to happen. But this EG team of Zotic, Goonjar, Royalty, Saints, and Felony, that's the one. And Zotic swapped out for Lacefield in that kind of cool drama we had a couple of weeks ago when Lacefield went over to Parasite's team, which we'll talk about in just a second here. So look, I really don't see that team being that good, but if there's any man to turn it around, it's got to be Revan. Like, this guy's accolades, he seems to understand, or at least understand and be able to articulate the game better than really any other guy we have in the scene, as far as I can determine it. And the stuff I've been hearing from him in scrims has been fantastic. So I still don't think this team could be that great, but honestly, if this is Revan's first like coaching gig and this ends decently, or he could definitely move up in the world of coaching for sure. As Call of Duty matures more and more, coaches are becoming more and more of a thing that we see. And definitely Revan could be coaching one of the best teams in the game in a few months, or, you know, next year or something like that. So it's a really cool thing to see. Hopefully he gets back on the desk for our viewing entertainment. But, you know, I guess I have to kind of support EG to some extent now, given that Revan is their coach, even though I don't think the team's going to be that great. So going alongside, this is the talent announcement for CWL Vegas. So Revan obviously isn't here. We have Maven, Merc, Benson, Momo, and Chance as the casters. I think this is a little bit misleading because we have this analyst called Katie, who no one's really ever heard of. I think she's done more like TV sports stuff in the past and has some sort of connections in esports and stuff like that. But I believe she's going to be a host more than an analyst, but she's just written here because I guess she'll be on the desk. Nameless and Pac-Man, of course, coming back into the fray. Or not back into the fray, but he was on the pool play announcement, so, you know, he's confirmed being on the team this year. Jess is doing the interviews, and then we have Brycey, oh yeah, on the open stream. So this time we have an open stream. I don't know if exactly how it works, like Bravo, Charlie, all that stuff, but there's a stream for Open Bracket, and I guess these guys will also be doing Bravo casting, because you know, Dirk's the king of Bravo streams, so he's back as well. Blaze and Ton. No Fox, and I saw someone replied when I put this in my post about me going to Germany a couple of days ago that, you know, where's Courage? But Courage, like, he retired from casting a long time ago to focus on the content stuff. So just to clear things up if you're interested. So that's the broadcast team. Pretty interesting stuff. Then we go on to Parasite Squad. Theory, Panda, Parasite, GodRx, and Lacefield. I said in a video, I was pretty full of these guys. a couple of weeks ago that these guys would be joining an organization that had been in Call of Duty in the past and was coming back. Now, I can't say exactly what that organization is, but supposedly they were interested in picking up this team, but they're now going to delay their entry into Call of Duty for later in the season. So they've been picked up by the Pittsburgh Knights instead. And I will say that out of all of you guys that commented with your predictions for the teams, some of you were right. So that's all I can say. So Pittsburgh Knights, hadn't really heard of these guys, but they have like 20,000 followers or something in that region. Like, yeah, 21,000 followers. And I really can't say I heard too much about these guys. Honestly, the name seems kind of fitting considering franchising is looming next year. And yeah, as we've seen in Overwatch, the franchise teams have the name of the city in front of them. So, you know, who knows whether these guys will end up going to the squad that was the organization that was initially going to pick them up, or how it's going to work. I don't know. But they do have an organization for Vegas at the very least. Another organization to talk about is Lightning Pandas, picking up Dave, Madcat, Alex, Josh, and Petey. So that's the Lightning Panda squad for this season. It was quite interesting, really, because it was leaked on the MLG website when they revealed the schedule for Vegas that Lightning Pandas were playing in FaZe and Envy's pool, effectively, which is this squad. And initially, Josh tweeted this out to Codburner Intel, the guy who did all the reveal, or tweeted everything that the Codburner was saying during Rostermania time, and he said it was incorrect, and then a couple of days later it turns out to be real. So, you know, it's cool to see LP back in the game. A lot of people thought these guys would be going to pick up Parasite's team, but it didn't end up happening. Maybe the money wasn't quite right for what those guys were looking for, and I actually picked up the Lightning Pandas jersey, the rainbow kind of coloured one that was out a while ago, like a limited edition thing. So I'm happy they're still in COD, and why do I not follow them either? So, quick bit of news on Study. This is something I saw a couple of days ago. It hurts to say this, but I will not be competing at CWL Vegas. A lot of things happened during the time the game came out until now, and it just put me in a terrible spot. Got something lined up, so stay tuned. And Enable replied to this saying something along the lines of, yeah, I know what it is, it's going to be great. So, who knows what it's going to be? Hopefully it's Call of Duty related. Maybe he is getting picked up as a coach of somebody or other, but he was meant to be playing, and that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So if you're a Study fan, then this is some news for you. SpaceLy's team. SpaceLy tweeted this a while ago. So this is the team that's been doing crazy well online in the North American region. They won the last 2K even though the Pro Down was going on at that time. There's also another one today. So I think by the time you're watching this, the Pro Down will likely be live, or maybe within a few hours. You can watch that on Twitch. A load of the pros will be streaming it over there. It should be pretty easy to find, even if you're not familiar with the whole streaming thing in Call of Duty. So a few days ago, he tweeted this out, that they're possibly going to represent an organisation at Vegas after saying a couple of days earlier that they were going to go in August and then look for better outcomes further down the line. Because I guess the problem is that you go into Vegas and you sign with a team, or you sign with an organisation that's not paying you the most amount of money, but you know, they obviously are looking to sign you for the long haul. They're not just signing you for one event. But then like, if they prove to be really good, then it's difficult getting out of those contracts and then getting picked up by a prestigious organisation for more money. Effectively, that's the idea here, with not representing an organisation for Vegas if you're really confident. But they did say that, okay, maybe we'll just represent an org for one event unless they got a really great offer, I guess. So then it was announced, it was kind of leaked a little bit earlier, but it was announced that Str8 Rippin were picking these guys up. So the last time, I'm following them as well, the last time these were in Call of Duty was, I believe, Infinite Warfare Champs with Dashi, Ricky, like Proto, or maybe it was Study on the okay, I forget exactly what the team was, but I know that Dashi and Ricky were on there at Infinite Warfare Champs. They did decently well, and Dashi really showed up, and, you know, they're back in Call of Duty here. Of course, you know, not a Call of Duty organisation. Halo days really was where they started out, established 2005 as their bio says here. But yeah, they're picking up this team of Havoc, Naga, Major Maniac, Morks, and SpaceLy. A really solid squad. Like, I rate a lot of these guys, and if Naga and Colt Havoc are back to their Black Ops 3 form, then goddamn. And Major Maniac was also a beast on that game in like S&D tournaments and stuff. So a really cool organisation now, and a really cool team for them to pick up. I wonder if this will go any longer than one event, or whether this will be for the long haul, or whether if SpaceLy's team does exceptionally well, or I guess I should say Str8 Rippin now, then they will get picked up by a more prestigious organisation, maybe even the one that was meant to pick up Parasite's team initially. So there has been a couple of other team announcements, but nothing too major that I wanted to talk about. Apart from this one, Adam Killer Sloss Baby picked up by Raised by Kings, which a very interesting team name. I don't know where they're pulling these out their ass from, but it's a cool one, I think. Sloss, Twiz, Supreme Agility, TCM, and Legal joining the squad. And our very own Rabbit Hops, I believe, the brother of TCM. He is also going to be coaching this team or something along those lines. So that's pretty much all the news I wanted to talk about today. Kind of flipped through a few things. If you guys want me to go in depth on any more of these topics, please leave a comment down below. And like if you enjoy, subscribe if you are new, all that good stuff. And what do you think about Revan becoming the coach of Evil Geniuses? Would you prefer him to still be on the desk? Do you think he can make the difference and make this team actually a contender at the top? Because in theory, when I look at the squad, I see a mishmash of players, I see a fair bit of talent, but I also think that with Lacefield off the team and Zotic in the team, there seems to be less firepower than there was before, and Goonjar as your main AR is surely never going to be a recipe for competing right at the very top. Unfortunately for these guys, I guess. So I wonder what will happen, considering, let's not forget, Evil Geniuses won the most recent Call of Duty event at COD Champs back in September, when they had the now Envy lineup. So will these guys be able to take them to the heights they reached before? I very much doubt it. I think, if anything, this is a situation of Revan proving that he can make some impact as a coach, because online these guys have been shocking. If they even show some promise on LAN, then honestly I would be impressed and probably account some of that to Revan's influence. But above all, I hope he gets back on the desk at some point or other. But as of now, it doesn't look likely. So thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.